passion and energy that I will earn money or learn a new skill or anything that you want to do along with studies, we start daydreaming that within a few days I will be able to achieve a lot of things, gain popularity, earn money, and many more. So we start to overthink even before we actually start. Because of this, we waste time, and in the end, we are not even able to start something new. Even if some are able to skip the delay of overthinking and start, we again get stuck during the implementation phase. And in this phase, the work gets really intense, and as a result, we get too exhausted and want to quit. We start binge watching Netflix or our favorite shows, play video games, or whatever that helps us to skip from the reality. As a result, the remaining time is also wasted, and we end up not completing even one of the two tasks. And we regret and decide not to even try it out again. And this cycle of procrastination, exhaustion during implementation, and failure in the end continues. So I have built a mechanism that helps me to break this cycle from procrastination, exhaustion, and failure to immediate initiation, smooth execution of work, and also being able to successfully accomplish my targets, which is work as well as studies together. This video is mainly divided into 3 parts. The timestamp and sequence for this video is as follows. First, shorten or skip this phase of procrastination. Second is the implementation phase. And third is 5-step framework to succeed in multitasking. So, the first barrier we need to break is to shorten or skip the phase of procrastination. It's like you have gone skydiving but you are not ready to jump yet, and as a result you are just delaying the joy or happiness of skydiving until you actually jump. Because of this, we waste so much of our time that we miss opportunities, feel stressed, and in the end we don't even start because the remaining time is not enough even to cover the original single task completely. Delay to start happens due to 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is overthinking, and reason number 2 is daydreaming. One thing that we need to understand is that overthinking happens when we feel negative about something that is not going to work, and daydreaming happens when we are too optimistic that this is definitely going to work. Normally we overthink because of the bad early experiences due to failure, lack of motivation, or feeling overwhelmed if you are already in an intense workload. And the only solution for this is one timely execution of a task successfully and delay to delay. Daydreaming happens because we get too bound into the perfectionism and we lack a clear goal. So now that I know about it, I have built a brain hack, or you can say a formula for myself, that is delay to delay. When I start to overthink, what I say to my mind is that let's try it out first for 2 days, and if it will not work, then I will leave it. This helps me to save time and even optimize my learning or work efficiency, since I delay to bother about whether it will work or not. And after 2 days, I am always at the finishing point or an intense working phase that I even forget that I was feeling negative about it 2 days ago. And when I feel too optimistic and start daydreaming, what I say to my mind is that let's first try it out, then we will think about whether it will work or not. So I immediately make myself jump into working or studying instead of daydreaming and wasting time very early on. So this is how I address my first hurdle. The second phase is the implementation phase, or you can say working phase. This was the most intense phase for me because of the time constraint. I always used to juggle between my studies and work. It always happened that one of the two was always left behind. In the end, after 2 to 3 months, I was completely exhausted mentally as well as physically. I was sleep deprived, I was not able to give even a little time for my studies, and I was too busy working. The icing on the cake was that my exams were also on the head, and I was completely unprepared for it. At this time, I started to think about whether I should quit, as I started to think that this is just not made for me and I'm not that smart enough to manage two tasks simultaneously. And many of you would have also faced the same issues as well. But I was not ready to quit yet. So, to make myself not quit and continue to work on both the tasks, I made certain rules for myself. And I started to plan things out and make changes and adjustments in my routine and work on my time management. I finally came up with a 5-step framework to make my workflow smooth for myself. So, the first thing that I started to implement in my routine is that I started to prioritize my tasks. For me, this is the most crucial step in managing my time effectively. It actually brought self-awareness in me, helped me to understand my goals accurately, and because of this, I was also able to understand and analyze the consequences for failure and overall determine the importance of each task. Priorities may differ for different people. Like for students, exams and studies comes first before any work. But for working professionals, it may be different. You may prioritize work before studies. So I started to finish my academic needs first thing in the morning and use my second half of the day for my work. I actually follow a step-by-step process to prioritize my tasks. First of all, I make a list of all the tasks that I need to complete along with their deadlines. Then I try to arrange them according to their importance. I actually mark important tasks based on the consequences. I give higher priorities to the tasks with significant consequences for failure. Like for example, in my case, passing my academic exams are my utmost priority, and it has the most severe consequences for failure. After I have prepared my priority list, I choose not more than 2 tasks so that I could maintain my focus. As our mind also has its own limitations and I don't want to reduce the quality of my work, so for me, the 2 main priority tasks are academic studies, which include all my assignments, lectures as well as exams, and work, which include all the ongoing work, that is work at hand, and also learning new skill sets to improve in my work field as well. This solved my most basic issue of not being able to work on both, that is my studies as well as work simultaneously. Then I move to the second step, that is I make an intentional happy to-do list. It is the most crucial step for me to continue working for a long period of time so that I do not exhaust myself and maintain my health and also keep track of my growth at the same time. So what I do is that I plan some permanent daily time blockings to be happy and appreciate myself for my work, and a sad or analyzing time block to cry, shout and complain about things that are not working for me, and so that I could maintain my mental health even during my busy schedules, as I am able to express and let my emotions out, which is very rare and which is also very essential while we are multitasking. This helps me in analyzing my growth, my shortcomings, and also allows me to make changes as needed based on these analyses. I think that this is the only thing that makes my work 90% easy, as I am able to track my growth and also I am able to let my emotions out and bring positive amendments in order for my system to work for me, so that I do not feel exhausted even when I am juggling through my work and studies. Then I also separate some time blocks to sleep, exercise and also eat regularly, so that I could maintain my physical health. You know what? While you are multitasking, taking care of yourself is the most important thing, as it will protect you from exhaustion and saves energy for you to work. I also spare a permanent daily time block to address my social media messages, emails, watching my favorite shows, playing video games, party and outings, so that I do not miss out on other important things in my life as well. The third step in my framework is that I make an illusionary 2 days out of one. Reason for doing this is that based on some experiments and research conducted by neuroscientists such as Earl Miller at MIT, and key findings from them suggest that the brain does not handle switching between tasks efficiently. While switching between tasks, our brain has to refocus its attention, leading to decreased focus and performance in each of the tasks and increase in errors. A study conducted by an American Psychological Association found that task switching can cause 40% loss in productivity. So, to reduce and completely remove these side effects of multitasking, I started to focus on only one task at a given time. So, I developed a brain hack for myself. That is, I try to think that one day consists of 8 hours only. Like this, my time is divided into 3 8 hours block, and I allocate them according to the priority list that I designed for myself. I use the first 8-hour block for sleeping. I always keep this in my priority list. And from the remaining 8 hours block, I use the first 8 hours to work on the tasks that scale first in my priority list. In my case, that is completing my lectures and assignments and preparing for my exams. Out of this, I study only 4 to 5 hours with regular breaks and spare another 2 hours for other day-to-day activities like eating, commuting to college, getting ready and so on. But I always spare 1 hour to analyze my growth and be happy or sad about it, and take time to optimize my study routine if I need to, and also sometimes I try to learn any new skill set to improve my learning efficiency. If you want to improve your learning efficiency, you should watch my earlier videos of Why Do Our Brain Forget Information? The K-LQUAD technique to save time and score best grades. As it was also said by the President Abraham Lincoln, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree and I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. If he did not spend time planning and placing sensitive pieces, it's likely that America could have been a different country today. Then I use my second 8-hour slot to complete my second priority task. Here also I work for 4 to 5 hours only and save time to watch my favorite show, play video games and spend some time with my family. Like this, I am able to maintain my 100% focus during both of my tasks. That is my priority number 1 and priority number 2 tasks, and also avoid draining out due to overwork. Even after planning things out according to our own requirements, now another problem that came in my mind was distraction. That is the most vulnerable obstacle at this time. I was neither studying nor working, and neither I was enjoying my time. I was just wasting my time by getting disturbed and in the end being annoyed that I am not getting any free time for myself. My focus was also not in the best condition, and because of this I was taking 2 hours to understand the same concept that I could have understood in half an hour only. So I made certain changes and they worked for me, and they were: first, optimize my environment. I try to keep my workplace clutter free and organized. I also delete the social media applications like Instagram, YouTube and gaming softwares from my cell phone and laptop, so that I do not have to struggle to make myself sit and study instead of playing video games and just watch any video that does not give any value in my life. Also, I always clean up my workspace before going to work or study so that I can feel positive while working. And one thing that worked wonders for me was to eat before I start to work or study. Earlier, I used to lose my focus because as soon as I used to come under intense working mode, I used to get hungry and my focus used to get diverted. So now I keep this in my mind that whenever I am going to start working or studying, I finish my breakfast, lunch or dinner before going to study or work. Another thing that I did was that I asked my parents and family to not disturb me while I was working, because sinking into the intense work mode and getting distracted and again coming to the intense work mode used to waste so much of my time. One thing that most students do, which I definitely will not ask you to do, is to keep a cookie jar beside your study space, because every time you see them, you would want to eat them and get distracted without any reason. So the next thing I do is that I always take routine breaks so that I do not feel drained out every day. And I could also have my own freedom in my life. There are different types of breaks that I take while I study. I try to keep my Sundays as a holiday for myself, and I also take small breaks during my study and work sessions to optimize myself while working or studying. I have already talked about the happy and sad time blocks that help me to analyze myself, to stop and see myself how far I have come. I feel like happy hormones rush into my body that provide motivation to work for more. I always keep my routine flexible, like if I have included something in my target and I have not been able to complete it, I do not crush myself and whine about it. I just move forward and focus on my next target. This actually saves my time, and so that I am always slightly more prepared than my other colleagues. Another thing that I started recently is practicing meditation. After doing it for some time, I feel like my mind is clear and peaceful after I complete my meditation. It helps me to soothe my mind, and in result it also optimizes my working efficiency. Fourth thing that I do is that don't go beyond the limit. Set realistic goals. Our brain has its limits of multitasking that it can actually handle. So we need to wisely choose the number of tasks that should be done. We need to learn to say no to the additional tasks, however appealing they would feel like, if you are already managing multiple responsibilities. I avoid being stressed out, otherwise I will not be able to even complete the remaining tasks successfully. And even if I feel stressed sometimes, I talk with my friend and family. Trust me, this helps a lot to let go of your concerns and anxieties. Then I use Pomodoro techniques, but only when I am drained out and I am not able to maintain my focus. Reason behind this is that when I am already in complete focus, I feel that those 5 minutes break just after 25 minutes of study time feels like a disturbance when I am already working on a full focus mode. Now the phase 4 is to take help. You need to be quick-witted if you want to achieve more in less time. So whenever possible, I delegate tasks that others can handle. It lightens my workload and allows me to focus on more critical tasks. You can take help from your friends as well as seniors as and when required. In my college, I was the class representative as well as I was involved in other extracurricular activities. So I used to ask my friend to take over the classwork, and I personally used to focus on my buddy's lecture, which was to teach our juniors, which was providing better value to my life. And also you should be helping your friends as well. You can also pay and take help if you can afford to outsource some of your tasks. I am not yet able to, but if you can, you should definitely go for it. You can also take help from some technologies like Anki, Quizlet, ChatGPT and so on to speed up and optimize your performance. There are many personalities who have been able to manage multitasking very well, like Elon Musk, Richard Branson, Emma Watson, and many more. All of them had a common similarity, that is, all of them worked on their priorities and time management skills. Whatever driving motivation you have, either you want to develop your skills, be financially independent, gain some professional experience, or you just want to have a new hobby, just work on your priorities and time management skills, and you will also be able to manage multitasking effortlessly. But also keep track of your brain limitations so that you do not compromise on your productivity. I found that I have gained confidence, learned new skill sets, been more productive and efficient in my work, and accomplished more in short period of time. So this is how I managed my studies and work as a student. I hope that this was helpful for you in some way. So that's it for this video. See you in the next one. Till then, keep thriving.